morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to you all. I am Antonietta Buosciolo, Open Innovation Manager at Baker Hughes, and I am absolutely delighted to be your host today. We are here to celebrate a landmark moment, the culmination of our groundbreaking innovation journey. Today, we present the Batch 3 Demo Day of our Baker Hughes Energy Ideas Generation Program European Edition. We have two exceptional startups from our program ready to share their incredible journeys and accomplishments. But before to jump into their presentation, we have got a fantastic visual treat for you. We have a video that captures Baker Hughes' spirit of innovation and progress at scale. We will follow that with another short video giving an overview of what is the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas Generation Program. After these videos, we will have two brief introductory talks to provide some valuable context before our startup take the stage. In the last session, we will share some news about our next batch. And now let's start with the videos.
All of us live on this planet, so all of us have a stake in the future of energy. The challenge is clear. Provide the world with secure and affordable energy today in a way that's sustainable for future generations. But we're up against a clock. The world is demanding progress now. We must advance the path to sustainable energy development with nimble, efficient, and scalable actions across the ecosystem. But how do we drive progress at scale? By replicating and scaling technology innovations for cleaner, more efficient operations. Building and integrating solutions with digital as our lens, delivering actionable insights for impactful outcomes. Creating solutions to make progress practical, both locally and globally. Partnering to energize change in policies, regulations, and how we work together across industries. Because progress isn't just about doing more, it's about doing more better. By innovating, collaborating, and transforming how we power the world. This is progress at scale.
We previously experienced a couple of acceleration programs. None of this has been brilliantly set up like this one.
Seeing how a global player does this, there's always something to learn, and that is quite enriching.
We have been deeply involved. Every week we have meetings. It's intense, but you grow really fast.
We're partnering up with the leading industrial partner with an immense skill set in the field we're operating in. For us to be able to get direct access to their carbon capture portfolio, I don't think any other accelerator would be able to give us that kind of insight.
Well, we are now thrilled to connect with Ian Derbyshire, Director of Research and Technology at Baker Hughes.
Thank you, Antonetta. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ian Derbyshire, and I'm the Director of Research and Technology at Baker Hughes for Industrial and Energy Technology Business Segment. I'm pleased to be talking to you today on the demonstration day for the third batch of our European Energy Ideas Programme. So, as we just saw in the video, in the world today, energy demand is growing, and we want to satisfy that demand in a more sustainable way and make progress at scale. We're a leading technology company delivering innovative solutions to energy and industrial customers across the globe. We design, manufacture, and service groundbreaking technologies that can help take the energy forward, making it cleaner, making it safer, and more efficient for the people and the planet. So we want to meet those world's growing energy demands whilst ensuring that energy is affordable, secure, and sustainable for the long term. So it's quite a challenge. And to meet this challenge, we really need technology innovation and collaboration across the energy ecosystem to deliver a cleaner, more efficient and integrated solutions for industry. When we started Energy Ideas Programme in 2022, it was designed to harness the power of innovation and collaboration by identifying startup companies with promising technologies and mentoring them with the expertise of industry to accelerate their technology development. The programme is executed by our partner Nana Bianca in combination with the expertise of the Baker Hughes technologists and subject matter experts to guide the startups through a 16-week open innovation journey. And today we're here to celebrate the achievements of the two companies in our third batch of the European Energy Ideas Programme. Mecapress and MyWay were selected among 130 applicants to the programme, coming from all over Europe. Mecapress is a startup based in the UK on a mission to decarbonise industrial heat using their patented solution for high temperature heat pumps with integrated thermal storage. Whereas MyWay are an Italian startup transforming industrial operations through their unified artificial intelligence management system. Delivering the third batch of the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas Programme has been a cross-functional effort alongside our partner Nana Bianca. We've had more than 35 Baker Hughes employees involved across 10 different teams, with our mentors and subject matter experts delivering more than 50 hours of expert industry support, coaching and guidance on how to explore, develop and demonstrate the technologies. The input from the Baker Hughes mentors and SMEs is what makes the success of this programme and is the resource most valued by the startups that participate, which is a great testament to the people and expertise we have in Baker Hughes who are dedicated to innovation and collaboration to address the energy transition. A key success of this batch was the ability of Baker Hughes and Nana Bianca to adapt to the relative maturity of the two technologies and demonstrate the programme's flexibility. The team recognised that each startup is unique with its own stage of maturity, specific needs and distinct challenges. So they work closely with both startups to provide them a flexible formula to ensure that they each receive the support that they needed to reach their full potential. So for Mecapress, we shaped an acceleration journey for them to develop their technology and evaluate it against a number of different industrial use cases. The team mentored Mecapress as well to address a real case study based on the pulp and paper sector and help them define their product development roadmap. We were also able to leverage our network of startups across the globe to suggest synergies with other companies, such as Dense Power from our APAC Batch 1 program, who developed a solid oxide electrolyzer cell system. So we encourage Mecapress to talk to Dense Power about how the waste heat from the solid oxide electrolyzer cell operations could be combined with the Mecapress thermal storage technology, and hence identify further avenues for opportunities and adjacencies to develop and leverage their solutions across energy and industrial sectors. For MyWay, the Energy Ideas journey is different. They have an established capability in technology within artificial intelligence management, and the team have focused on identifying practical use cases and applications within the Baker Hughes operations that can leverage that capability. So for MyWay, the program is going to continue for a few more months while we demonstrate how their technology can help Baker Hughes optimize our laser welding processes at one of our plants. These two examples really show how adaptable the Energy Ideas program is and how it has evolved. This year, there's been a laser focus on applications and real life use cases or demonstration, which shows how the companies are addressing both technical and commercial development to make them viable options to help with the energy transition and to progress at scale. I want to thank all of the Baker Hughes employees who have assisted with the program delivery and execution, giving up their time to deliver meaningful coaching, mentorship and industry insight to the startups, which is a really key selling point of our program. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our trusted partner Nana Bianca and Alessandro Sordi's team for their flexibility, diligence and support throughout the program. And finally, obviously, I want to thank Mecapress and MyWay for engaging, leaning in and making the most of this opportunity in the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas program. It's going to be exciting to hear what they have to say. And so I hope you're looking forward to that as well. I'm going to hand back now to Antoinetta to take us through the rest of the demonstration day.
Thank you, Ian, for sharing your perspective and for your inspiring word. We truly appreciate your vision, and so stay with us and enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you.
Now let's welcome Alessandro Sordi, CEO of our partner Nana Bianca. Hello, Alessandro. Welcome. You are mute, so this is the live. No, it seems you are still mute.
Sorry.
Perfect. I hear you. No
I stay
problem.
in background.
Nice to
So
see you, Alessandro. So
perfect. Good
share with
morning.
us perspective.
Okay. Good morning to everyone, to the teams, to the Baker Hughes teams. I'm very happy to be here today with you to celebrate the end of the third edition of the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas Generation Program. As a founder and CEO of Nana Bianca, I want to say how proud and excited we are about the results of this program. Since it started in 2021-22, this project has helped bring new and bold ideas into Baker Hughes, and it's already creating a real value. It's also inspiring similar programs in other parts of the world, for example, in Pacific and Asia program. And at Nana Bianca, we are fully committed to this journey. It's a real pleasure for us to work with such an innovative and open-minded partner. I want to sincerely thank the whole Baker Hughes team, especially its leader, Paolo Noccioni and Paolo Ruggeri, and Jan Derbyshire for their vision and support for the program. A big thank you also to the people who made this program work so well, including Alberto Babbini, Antonietta, of course, Busciolo, and Jacopo Dainelli, and all the experts who worked with us at Nana Bianca in the past year. Together, we are showing that the open innovation can really help move the energy sector forward. And I look forward to what we will do next together. Thank you for your trust and your energy. And finally, good luck to all the teams who took part. And I want to say keep pushing forward and creating new opportunities for the energy world. And have a great demo day today, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Alessandro, for your words and for your valuable contribution and to the whole Nana Bianca team. Now let's move to the heart of this event, the startup pitches. So first up, we have Fabrizio Cardinali, CEO and co-founder of MyWay, and also Riccardo Castagno, Business Development Manager of MyWay. Hello, Fabrizio.
Hello, Antonietta.
I do not see you, so
I'm sure.
let's wait some minutes. Now, here you are. Fabrizio, how are you?
Fine. Thank you, Antonietta, for the introduction.
Very well. Very well. So, welcome again.
Okay, shall I present? Okay, so let's dive into the presentation. I'm Fabrizio Cardinali, CEO and founder of MyWay. MyWay is a European platform for machine data and equipment as a service using any sorts of AI, from generative to multimodal, agentic, and edge AI for achieving a new machine economy. We are based, headquartered in a wonderful place. This is the Silence Bay of Sesto Levante, a northwest Italian Riviera between Tuscany and France. We also have locations in Genoa and Monte Carlo nearby. We were started during COVID, more or less, with a big support from the European Commission and the European Space Agency. because the intent was actually to have some sort of support into getting the Industry 5 agenda ready, because there was going to be a big change in what was the regulation of machine devices, both in the medical and industrial sector, and new regulations coming out like the EU AI Act and the Data Act, which, being also European consultants, we were engaged into the very early stage definition. We were managing to do this by putting together a background of companies which were dealing with system integration and open innovation. And by coming together, we patented a new technology and we released it to the market. The market was very positive from the beginning. We gained big traction with big names like NVIDIA, Meta, and Google in the US, but also qualitative relations with Stellantis Group, Italian Welding Institute, and last but not least, also Baker Hughes. We immediately grew from 0 to more than 3 million euro USD turnover, and we are now heading to the US and to Asia as our next steps. What do we do? Well, first of all, we help manufacturers, OEMs, and users of machines towards the new intelligent machines economy, which essentially means 3 big sectors which are quite streamlined today, like machine maintenance, predictive maintenance, using AI to predict the failure of machinery, quality inspection, the quality of the production line, where you have cameras, audios, touch sensors for anything from textile to any sorts of artifacts or manufacture that you might be producing, and then stepping into energy, especially process intelligence. So using AI agents to control laser welding, for example, that we use for e-batteries in the automotive sector, the buildup of e-batteries into electrolyzers and other sorts of energy production processes. We're very, very active in research, where we are also addressing spatial intelligence, so the use of imitation learning for pick and place in robotics, physics-informed networks, neural rendering for creating 3D digital twins, and last but not least, moving into equipment as a service, also with non-technical services like fintech, insurtech, and so on added to the machinery. We've been doing this in 4 big verticals. First of all, smart factories, so Industry 5, from very innovative sectors like automotive to very traditional sectors like welding and steel. Smart cities and smart ports, we are by the sea, so anything which goes from cranes to containers to moving parts, even in stations and cities, they're all manageable by the MyWay AI platform, streaming up millions of data, putting AI, and then delivering it back at the edge or very edge inside the machines. In the energy sector, as I was saying, electrolyzers, but also windmills and other equipments and machinery has been focused implementations of MyWay. And last but not least, smart hospitals. We don't do any clinical research or any clinical applications of the machines of the MyWay platform, but we deliver AI to maintain machines like echographers or MRI machines down to wearables out there in the wild. The competition is not that diverse and dispersed. It's mostly in the US, taking off the 2 first, which are in the UK, Sensai and Relayer in Germany. But there's much less competition than the big consumer AI market. This bunch of companies have all been exited more or less by acquisitions from very big groups. Relayer has been bought by Munich Re, Sensai by Siemens, Falconry by IFS, a big private cloud provider. Uptake is in the rumors of being acquired by Caterpillar. Augury, I think, has also got good relations, white labeling relations with Baker Hughes and Schneider Electric. Just to say that all these companies have been acquired recently, and this makes MyWay quite unique because we are independent. We are the only one remaining in machinery data independency, so we're not related to any automation or OEM group. We've got an edge to cloud blockchain continuum in the technology. We are multi-cloud by design, so we have Kubernetes and Docker across the technology, so you can choose your cloud provider of choice, or you can install it on premise, which also makes it quite different for programmers. It's very little configuration, very little customization, and a lot of configuration. So it's a no-code technology, and we can support any sensor, any measure, but very flexible go-to-market model. So this makes us quite unique, benchmark to the competition. By the way, all these companies have got more than 10 times the investment that My Way had to burn to date. And they have been in the market from an earlier stage, so they are quite delayed on the terms of adoption of standards and new technologies like agents or 3D neural rendering, which we have also in the technology. The technology is a quite easy front-end platform for configuring measures, sensors, equipments, import millions of data sets, either live from the edge or in batch upgrade. You can create any sort of algos, uploading it in Docker. You can create the pipeline, and then you distribute it back and certify it according to the new regulations, the EU AI Act, the EU Data Act, and the other ones. We've got strong relations with edge providers. We import chips for neuromorphic computing, like the Hilo from Germany, the Brain chip from Australia, the Neuromem from the US, and these have been integrated so that you have a very powerful edge in the technology, which enables the buffering of the data, the preparing of the data in terms of windowing, and then you can execute and orchestrate the algos directly on the edge as needed. Another unique capability is on the cloud side to be fully Kubernetes and Docker based and to manage all the approval workflow, all the certification workflow and distribution workflow of the algos. And last but not least, we have a very innovative blockchain plus distributed file system set up for certifying and notarizing the data if something happens. So if something blows up or if something goes down, it's not the machine itself or My Way which says it, but it's actually certified on an external blockchain, which is IOTA, which is made on purpose for, let's say, machine data recording on DOTs. We were very happy to join the third batch of the Baker Hughes initiative. This is with a continuum of the success cases that we've been recording on automotive, medical, steel and welding, and offshore monitoring of platforms and plants. We are now entering the Enertech quite aggressively. We're working with world-leading brands like Baker Hughes, and we are planning to go to Dubai WETEX exhibition in September for those in the Middle East which might be willing to join us in presenting the outcome of also the Baker Hughes relation. So the benefit has been mostly to get steadily into open innovation and confirm our leading positioning even in this sector. The new version of My Way, which is expected at the end of the year, will also have a very advanced certification authority for all the machinery and the CISO, so the chief security officer inside large organizations, which need to be secured that by design that all the machine is connected, is certified, and the root of trust is actually managed down to the level of the single machine. We are also adding agents to the platform so that you can actually have not only deterministic data monitoring and AI-based intelligence, but also you can have LLM offering of agents which are able to support maintainers, certifiers, or anybody which actually needs to use the machinery, including also a cyber hunting agent for cybersecurity. And last but not least, we are now adding, especially in the Enertech sector, synthetic twins, so that the machinery is also located in a physical space, and it also is navigable from point cloud to 3D generation using LiDAR and other stuff to rebuild Enertech plants, for example, and access the machinery immersively. Last slide, we are growing quite aggressively from 0 to 3 million in less than a couple of years. We are now aiming to go to the US and to Asia Pacific. For this reason, we have done a planned build-up of the North American subsidiary on the East Coast, and we are looking for investors. We are actually looking for a 5 million round A, but before that, we are reserving a couple of million of pre-bridge discounted 33% on the value for maximum 4 world-leading machinery builders or industrial shareholders, which could help us to go to the international markets in the US and overseas, also into Asian Pacific market. I think that is all. I think I'm on time, 9:20 seconds, so I should be done. Hope everything came smooth, and I don't know if we are taking questions or whatever. It's up to you, Antonio.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for your presentation, Fabrizio. We can start now the 5 minutes question and answer session. And I invite our audience to write us their question. In the meantime, I can ask you, Fabrizio, what was your motivation to apply to the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas program?
Well, surely the name was very attractive. I mean, I know Baker Hughes since very early days in other startups that we regularly funded in Houston and the US. So that's a huge ecosystem and a leading ecosystem. And your approach to open innovation is really the essence of the interest because you are both open and innovative. And it's not just, an easy say because a lot of times there's a lot of closeness in open innovation activities. You were very open, and the welcoming we had, but also the exposure to real cases in welding, as you know, but also in Enertech was quite impressive. So that was very positive.
Thank you for sharing your perspective. We appreciate your voice, and let me see if in the meantime we have some question from the audience. And
There's a question, if I get it right, is from Valeria. Your company is a commercial product and is clearly not an early stage
yes,
startup.
yes, I can help you. So
Okay.
the question is, your company has a commercial product and is clearly not an early stage startup. Could you please explain how a company like yours can benefit from collaborating with an established corporation?
Well, first of all, one of the few critiques that we have from investors that we are seeking, as you understood, for expansion is that we are not verticalized yet. I always answer that Oracle wasn't verticalizing in the 80s just because they invented something which was a very first mover and a Copernican change in the way you manage data. So Oracle just went to market and served any vertical. That's the same thing we want to do with My Way. So we don't want to verticalize because we really think having a couple of years of advantage in using AI in the professional market, but we're seeking very strong verticals. So that's where we need partnerships. We are ignorant of Enertech as a topic. So we are generalistic, but collaborating with you in the Enertech sector has with others in the welding sector and others again in the automotive sector, we've reaped a lot of benefit in getting the engineering understanding of the sector. I mean, AI is not just data scientists. If you put a junior data scientist crunching data, you get a lot of mess out. Non-competence in is non-competence out, even in AI. So having a very strong competency partner has been fundamental. And for Enertech, Baker Hughes has given a very big grip on that part.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Let's see if there is some additional question from the audience. Okay, it seems no more question from the audience. We have just 1 minute left. So, Fabrizio, what advice would you give to other aspiring entrepreneurs about the benefit of enrolling in this program on the basis of your ongoing journey with Baker Hughes?
Well, I think that both the fact that there is, services and monetary grants eventually is alone a very good reason for considering the opportunity. But essentially, the international presence of Baker Hughes makes it very, very present and sustaining the entrepreneur on a regional basis. So in Italy, you are very strong, and it was like being in the headquarters. So we had no difference between the headquarters support that I experienced in the past and the local support that I got in Italy from your organization. So that's been a very positive reason. And especially for those markets, continental Europe, for example, which is maybe less exposed to big headquartered events, that's quite unique. So that's one of the main reasons.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much again, Fabrizio, for your presentation and also for the answers.
Yeah.
So I think that you can stay with us and
Okay.
enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and bye to everybody.
And now it's time of our second startup. I would like to invite Fabio Giunta and Anastasios Vasilopoulos from the startup MechaPress. Hello, Fabio.
Hello,
Welcome.
Antonietta.
So we are excited to listen to your experience in the acceleration program and the planning to move ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonietta. And yes. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. I am Fabio Giunta, and I look after partnerships and growth in MechaPress. Today with me, there is Anastasios Vasilopoulos, our managing director, who brings 17 years of experience in the industrial energy efficiency sector. We also have some great advisors, including Professor Ding, a world expert in thermal storage. Now, as mentioned, we launched MechaPress to reduce cost and emissions of industrial heat, in particular steam, a market worth over 300 billion euros. Now, let's start by looking at a generic plant using heat for its production process. Such heat is usually provided from fossil fuels, but roughly 50% of the energy input is released into the atmosphere as wasted energy. A promising solution to this are industrial heat pumps that can recycle waste heat and produce useful heat. One of the big issues of this system is the integration cost and complexity. In particular, one of the main reasons for such complexity is the intermittency of the waste heat. This is an example of a waste heat profile for a continuous process. Even in this case, which is a continuous process, the system needs to stop for roughly 30 minutes due to the production requirements. And the heat pump really struggles to cope with this discontinuous operation. Our team has been facing this issue for 15 years, and this is why Anastasios, Vasilis, and I are building MechaPress, a high-temperature heat pump integrated with 2 thermal storage buffers. So this is hardware, of course. So we take the waste heat, we store it into low-temperature storage, we increase its temperature, and then we store the heat again, and we are able to release steam on demand from the high-temperature storage. Our patented process design enables an industrial heat pump to have an acceptable payback time, which we benchmark at 5 years. And because it can use intermittent waste heat while keeping the stable conditions for the heat pump. Overall, this also reduces the integration cost, since we can install smaller systems, so smaller compressors, smaller heat pumps, and we can also improve the heat recovery. Now, there are plenty of use cases for our solution, which is very nice, of course, but this also leads to one of the most common challenges for an early stage startup, which can be difficult to prioritize and focus. And this is where programs like the Energy Ideas Generation program really help, giving us some lenses to assess the different applications. Together with the team of Baker Hughes and Anna Bianca, we identified some high-level selection criteria, such as, for instance, should we focus on a small-scale modular solutions or customized large-scale solutions, which turn out to be the winner. We look at technical requirements, commercial readiness of the proposition, and also the market readiness for some of these use cases. Then we assess the use cases through these lenses by talking with several internal and external experts. All these connections were facilitated by the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas team and Anna Bianca, which was great. And this really enabled us to rank the use cases. We then were also able to run some initial techno-economic analysis to prepare some initial business cases for 2 of the most promising applications, which allowed us to identify the R&D priorities to co-develop the propositions for these sectors. Now, if we look at the other players in the industrial heat pumping market, we can start segmenting them based on the maximum temperature and the size of the solution they provide, which really determines the application. And we see how the landscape looks like. In particular, this is the area we are focusing on in terms of the applications I showed in the previous slides, large scale and high temperature. If we now map these products based on investment cost and capacity or size, we can see here the data from the International Energy Agency Annex 58, the size of the band on the horizontal axis will tell us more or less what is the capacity range offered by the product and the cost variation. And this is really where our area is, where we are designing our solution for. Now, if you look at the efficiency that in a heat pump is defined as COP, we know it depends on the temperature lift. Now, the red area shows the limits imposed by thermodynamic laws. So basically, nothing can be in that red area, otherwise it will violate the very fundamental physical laws of our world. And this is where the competitors are. And this is where we are designing for, basically between 60 and 75% from the initial world. To be in that band, we are using a specific type of refrigerant, which also some of these competitors use, which is water, which is a natural refrigerant, which is wonderful from a thermodynamic principles, from thermodynamic properties perspectives. It just has some technical challenges in basically being compressed and expanded and dealing with it, basically. What is different about ours? Really, we are the only company which is designing the solution from scratch by pre-integrating thermal storage and heat pumping. So that's where our unique differentiator is. We are basically optimizing the integration between heat pumping and thermal storage from the very beginning. How we're doing this, we're following two different strategies for doing that. First, for the large-scale applications, we collaborate with large-scale equipment providers like Baker Hughes. And for smaller-scale applications, we are developing proprietary containerized units. As of today, we have completed our first industrial tests in a mining site. We are now working on the second version of the prototype with particular focus on specific integration components. And that's where this program really helped us in identifying some priorities for this R&D sprint. With the aim to reach an industrial demonstrator in the second quarter of next year. In terms of our scale-up strategy, we foresee to reach 10,000. We are trying to reach 10,000 operational hours by 2027. In terms of the business model to get there, it's going to be mainly R&D projects and direct sales, and then to scale up through licensing and energy as a service. Now, this is the end of our presentation, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have. I'll stop.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation, Fabio. And in the meantime, thank you, Anastasios, for staying with us. Okay, we have one question. So yes, the first question is, what is the expected execution time for the integration of MechaPress solution in an existing plant?
Okay, so I think this is in terms of how long it's going to take to actually install the system from the beginning to the end. Okay, Anastasia, I see you're nodding, so I guess you really want to answer that.
Yes, sure. So it is a challenge for us, the bringing of focus on larger systems. So this is an area where we don't have a lot of experience, really big systems. However, we can estimate this to be in the range of 6 months or a bit more.
Okay.
Referring, let's say, to full-scale mining plants, for example.
Okay, good. And we see from the audience another question. How do you see your heat pump integrated thermal storage product extending to higher scale application in the future, for example, in refinery, cement, steel industry that consume high temperature heat in their process?
So in the future, we are already in discussions with process designers that are bringing things to the next, let's say, era. For example, we are discussing with a biorefinery process designing university that are focused on sustainable aviation fuel. And the open discussion revealed that there are several new types of processes in their overall bio refining process, which cost them a lot, meaning that their final KPIs of the energy they need to pay in order to produce biofuels is rather high, but they have several opportunities for waste heat recovery, which can be re-injected as high temperature steam in the process. So we feel that we are at the right time in the right sector to provide solutions, because the thermal storage is kind of an agent that can change things, improve things, accelerate the adoption of heat pumping in such more complex opportunities.
And maybe to add something also on these, on top of to add something on top of what Anastasia said, also in terms of the different applications, the main difference it might be is the temperature at which the waste heat might be recovered and then released, and our thermal storage is really flexible on that, because we use a composite material, so we can change the formula and cover different ranges of temperatures. So also to add on top of that. You can see there is another question.
Thank you. Yes, I see from the audience another question. Has the waste heat availability influenced your decision on your priority sectors? And do you have a proprietary compressor and thermal storage solution? Okay.
Okay.
I believe the first part is for you, Fabio. I believe you can easily go.
Yeah, I can tell you. Basically, yes, obviously the waste heat availability influences the application, meaning that there are some cases that are easier than others. Like, for instance, whenever there is drying happening, this is a very compelling case for our type of solution. However, this doesn't limit the applications. There are other applications where there is something we call a dry waste heat, which means like hot air without moisture in it. And it's just a simple change in some components to how to recover that, which may affect a little bit the cost of the heat recovery, but not a massive difference. Really, the prioritization focused on what is more on the customer side, on what is the demand today, which sectors really are in need of the demand of this solution today or tomorrow, basically. So that's what drove the prioritizations more than the technical requirements. And in terms of the second part, we are designing our own proprietary compressor, and obviously thermal storage solution, yes, it's proprietary, we have it. But in terms of the compressor for the smaller scale system, we are designing our own proprietary solution. And for larger scale solutions, we are partnering with other providers. And I hope I answered the questions. I don't know, Anastasia, if there is anything else you want to add on top of this.
I'm covered. If we can go deeper, but I don't know what time, how much time we have, or if it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that we have covered the question at high level, at least from the audience, and it seems we do not have additional questions from the audience.
But just adding, if anyone has any questions on potential applications or is interested, just reach out, and we're happy to have another conversation and answer your questions either offline or to a separate meeting. Sorry, Internet.
Yeah, of course, sure. Just last question from my side. I asked it also to my way, and I would like also to have your perspective about what advice you would give to other aspiring entrepreneurs about the benefit of enrolling in the Energy Ideas program based on your experience you had with us.
From my side, as being more reluctant at the beginning of the process, I will encourage everyone, and I want to thank Fabio for stressing the opportunity. I think it was an amazing process. Happy to meet professional people who were really focused on helping us move forward. They were everyone, I believe, was rather flexible, not usually expected from a big corporate, but we are very thankful, and I would personally encourage everyone to not just apply, but prepare an amazing application and try to get in this program.
And if I may ask, you were reluctant, and have you had the previous experience with acceleration program? Why you were reluctant to apply, if I may ask?
I can say that, yes, we have previous experience with acceleration programs. Fabio is smiling. It's not that it's a bad experience, but sometimes it can be very time consuming, and very small teams like startups sometimes struggle for resources, and time is not always available there. But I believe we managed to strike a very good balance of time, of meetings, and outcomes and outputs. So I believe this was all in all a very positive experience, and want to thank you both, Baker Hughes and Nana Bianca teams, the people we most frequently discussed and had opportunities to work together. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you to you both, and also for the answer, of course. Yeah, thank you.
If I can add something on the program, yes. Like what is really unique is, as well from my perspective, is also most programs don't have such an involvement from like a large corporate, and what we were hopeful that this would have happened, and actually it happened, that Baker Hughes is really, really involved in the activity. All the experts we talked to, everyone really put their time, and there was a strong focus on getting out some tangible results out of this, which is incredible. And even considering just the short time, that is 16 weeks, what we managed to achieve in 16 weeks is, I don't think we have achieved such results in such a short time in any other acceleration program we have done. And this is mainly thanks to the actually strong involvement and proactivity of Baker Hughes in the program. So this is really unique and invaluable.
Thank you. Yes. We thank you for the feedback, and stay with us with the last part of the event. Thank you again,
of course. Thank
Fabio
you,
and Anastasios. Well, we have reached the final segment of our demo day, and I want to welcome Davide Barra, Program Manager at Nana Bianca, to share with us some insight for the call of the new batch and for the conclusion remarks. Thank you, Davide.
Thank you, Antonietta, and good morning, everyone. My name is Davide Barra. I'm the Acceleration Director here at Nana Bianca. Before I begin, as the previous speakers said, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has contributed to the success of our program, the startups, the mentors, the technical experts, and of course, the dedicated team that's been working behind the scenes. Thank you for your collective efforts. The program not only has received positive feedbacks, but it also has ensured the highest standards of quality and effectiveness while earning, I would say, well-deserved recognition on an international level. So good job to everybody involved. But let me get to my point. It is with deep gratitude and excitement that I would like to introduce the next evolution of our initiative, which is a brand new discovery phase. designed to elevate what has already been an extraordinary journey. But what is this about? What is the discovery phase? The discovery phase is a short but intensive 6 weeks pre-acceleration stage that precedes our main program. During this period, we will narrow down the most promising projects and offer them the opportunity to explore potential collaboration with Baker Hughes before accessing the main acceleration phase. So it's an add-on to the actual format that we have been doing it for the last 3 years. So by emphasizing hands-on engagement from a very beginning, we hope to refine each startup's concept and ensure that they're fully prepared for the opportunities ahead. So we have introduced this new phase for, I would say, 3 key reasons. We would like to bring on a more refined selection process by working closely with each startup in an immersive setting. We'll be able to better evaluate both technical and business viability through deeper conversations and real-time feedbacks, ensuring that that only the strongest ideas progress ahead. We have planned this discovery phase also to foster early collaborations. This phase allows Baker Hughes and Nana Bianca to engage with startups on a strategic level, aligning their innovation with the energy transition goals and fostering relationships that could lead to powerful synergies. And also we will have an optimized resource allocation by concentrating meetings and involving subject matter experts only when their input is most critical. We will ensure interaction in a way that is as productive and meaningful as possible. So in this pre-acceleration environment, we plan to welcome around 8 startups, and our goal is to create a secure sandbox where they can feel free to test their ideas, to build relationship with Baker Hughes, and to benefit from targeted mentorships. At the end of this phase, each startup will be evaluated based on its potential impact within the evolving energy landscape. While every participating team will gain valuable insights and exposure, only the top 5, up to 5, will advance to the 3-month accelerated program. Thanks to the groundwork laid during the discovery phase, these startups, the 5 startups, will be able to best possible position to maximize growth and real-time collaboration with Baker Hughes. So it's a phase that is designed to facilitate work that will actually be done in the second phase. We're confident that this 2-step approach will lead to deeper connections, more impactful innovations, and a stronger foundation for the future of energy. Above all, this new format reflects our unwavering commitment to support Europe's energy transition ecosystem by championing bold ideas and fostering meaningful partnerships. So thank you once again for your enthusiasm and trust in our program. We can't wait to continue shaping the future of energy together. So thank you everybody. Thanks to the startups, and good luck.
Thank you, Davide, for sharing the news with all our startup ecosystem and partners. So the last thing I can say, thank you everybody for staying us today, and I can invite all interested startup to apply to our call that is already open. So
Yes.
hope to see you in our next batches. Thank you all.
Thank you.